Okay, Joe, what are the things you really want the Federation to do, to ensure that you get that time? You're talking about 11.04, if it's possible for you.
Well, I just feel the Federation to just, give us just quality training. That's all. Quality training will make you run faster.
But the ones you've had so far, how has it been like?
Well, my training so far has been very wonderful, training with DJ Aliu.
Right, that's the coach?
Yes, that's my coach.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, what a man to learn from. Arguably one of the best sprinters to come out of Nigeria.
Yeah. He's MOC's head coach, Lagos.
Okay, let's be still on you now. I mean, what is, you're still very young, you're still learning, still very raw. And obviously there are things you still need to improve on. In terms of your, in terms of the 100 meters, what are those things that you still need to improve on to, to get to that next level? I mean, your starting phase, is it at that level you want it to be at, your acceleration phase, and all those other things? Which ones do you still need to work on?
Well, for the 100 meters, I think I need to work more on the finishing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's very important, because when I start well, I start and then I accelerate, and then I am supposed to be faster after the acceleration phase.
The custom speed phase,
yes, yeah, but mine isn't like that. I just have problems with the finishing. So my coach and I are still working on it. So with time, I'll get better.
Yeah, obviously with time. Now, let's talk about your education. We know how difficult it is when you're in school in Nigeria. You're also an athlete. I mean, most times you just can't cope. How do you cope? You're Unilag.
Yeah, it's not easy, honestly. It's not easy. So, but when you're determined to get something, you want to achieve a particular thing, there will be no distractions, and then you just go for it. It is actually what you want. So yeah, it's not easy. It's never going to be easy. Like my coach will always say, it's never going to be easy. So you just have to try and put in the work, and so you get the results. And I think that's what I got. I put in the work, and then I got the results.
Right, despite the fact that you have to deal with all the lecturers in Unilag and all that. I mean, your grades are decent, I imagine?
For now, we've not written our first semester exams yet. So
first year,
Yeah, my first year.
That's what was going to come in, because I know, when you're just getting in, sometimes you feel you have all the time. As the time goes on, it's the second year, the third year, and all that. That's when the peak, that's when it starts. And sometimes, your school wouldn't really give you that time, to want to go compete. Sometimes when you come back, when you miss a finish writing the test, you now have to start writing your own. How will you be able to manage that?
Well, we have not really written tests and all of that.
When the time comes.
Yeah, when the time comes.
You're still fresh, so still a lot of time.
Yeah, so when the time comes, it'll be sorted out.
Right.
It will be. I love that. Now, I mean, is there going to be any support that will come from you guys' side for that? Because we know as time goes on, we know how difficult it's going to be.
Well, first of all, since for now, she's going for the Commonwealth Games and all of that, so I'm sure her school is already aware. And then I think Unilag, to a large extent, is one of the few schools that take sports very seriously as well, a few of them. So those things have already been, at least you've made provisions for that already. They're aware, and then they know. So that it doesn't become an issue eventually, by the time she needs to miss school, because this is also a great opportunity,
Big,
traveling out for the first time, making the senior team. So in terms of that, we're particular about that as much as possible, that even the schools, the athletes go to are sports friendly, because it's very important, because education is very important to us, as well as them excelling in sports as well. So you have to look for schools that are really, that will cooperate in this respect.
Right, and that's why she's come to Unilag. Okay, quickly, before we go, Rosemary Chukwuma, another young star that's made a team to the Commonwealth Games, 18 years old, 17 years old as well too. I mean, both of you are young stars. How do you push each other? Do you guys push each other? Is there a healthy rivalry going on between you and Rosemary?
Well, yeah.
There is.
The rivalry is just very healthy. No beef.
Okay.
So from my side, though.
Right. So you just, you push each other to be the best.
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
Interesting.
Okay, and now let's switch to some other athletes that will not be going to the Commonwealth Games. Before we talk about the indoor championship, talking about Sheye Ogunlewe. I mean, you guys mentioned on Friday concerning the fact you were there in Abuja. I mean, he said he had a cramp, so he couldn't. Well, he had the best time. Were you surprised that he didn't make the list at the Commonwealth Games?
Well, I was surprised, but again, I sort of saw it coming, right? Because being there in Abuja, he ran the heats, he ran the semis, and then he did not run the finals. So, of course, that was bound to create some kind of problem. So it's a very dicey situation because you're looking at things from different perspectives. Right. On the part of Sheye, he only opened the season at the Commonwealth Games trials. He's not competed prior to that. So I think, and he's returning from an injury, so he was probably trying to be careful, you know, not to push himself so hard, you know, so that he doesn't get injured. And then on the part of the federation too, they look at it from the point of view, okay, you were at the trials, but you didn't run the final, you know, and you're meant to pick people who qualified, you know, after running all races, and they wouldn't want to set a bad precedent as well. So it's a very dicey situation, but maybe anything can still happen. We're watching out to see.
Yeah, but he said the rest time between the semis and the final was too short. That was his main grouse, and he didn't want to risk. They said he had cramp. I didn't want to risk further injury. What could have the federation? What could have done to avoid that kind of situation? I mean, why not just
what was the difference?
Time?
What was the minutes, the hours between the semis and the final?
I think it was probably about maybe less than 40 minutes or thereabouts.
Between the semi-final and the final.
That is short. Typically, I see.
What was the temperature like in Abuja?
Oh well, it was normal. Well, it was quite hot. Abuja is usually very hot.
What
it was quite no up to. I do not think 30, it was up to 30 something.
And you have 40 minutes between semi-finals and final. I'm not sure.
Because typically, you know, I don't expect
it's like I said, it's a dicey situation, really. You know, we are looking at things from both points.
Since we have an athlete in the studio, I think we should just go to. I mean, how many
recovery
minutes
time
do you think you need, or hours? Do you think you need to rest in between races? I know that might take a few minutes to answer that, but so that's why you need to hold your thoughts. And let's go on this break, and we'll come back. Joy Udo-Gabriel will be answering that question.